Hello, Internet. We are David and Carter. We have a story for you. And today, it's about some ditch and dong ditch at night. And what we do, whenever we do stuff, we're not dicks. We don't do elderly. We don't do veterans. We don't do anybody like that. We normally just do friends or people who are jerks.
Time to tell a story?
Let's tell a story. So, I'll start it off. Us two, we're hanging out with our friends. Ashton, he's kind of a big kid. Then we have Philip, who's a kind of shorter kid. Somewhat chubby. Somewhat. And we're just hanging out. It's nighttime. We were going to sleep over, have some fun. And then, me and him were like, hey, let's go ding-dong ditching people. And then all of them were kind of freaking out because like, oh, I don't want to do this. And of course, Ashton doesn't want to because we're hanging out at Ashton's house. But, we kind of dragged him along because, he didn't want to be all by himself at home. So, the night's going good. We're just doing our regular thing. We're hitting doorbells to jerks who deserve it.
This was after midnight when we actually went out. Because we were shooting the bottles and stuff beforehand.
Oh, yeah.
So, we didn't even start ditching. Usually we start at 10 or something. Because people are usually still awake, so it's more fun. But, we started at 1 a.m.
Not a good time.
You can continue.
What we're doing from there? Alright, so we're just getting his houses. And apparently, this guy goes ding-dong ditching more than I do, with his friends. And there is this one guy with this canoe.
I can explain this.
Alright, you go.
So, starting about, this story ended, the end of April is when this happened. But since the beginning of February, me and 3 or 4 of my other friends, one of them, they're all over me, but, so me and one of them, one night we just, were running through yards and stuff, getting away from, cops, but that's for a different story. And so we just see a canoe, and we're just like, hey, it's in someone's backyard, so we just pick it up. Actually, it was in the side of his yard, and we pick it up and just, move it to the very back, and then we take all of his chairs from his deck, and we move them to the side of his house.
So harmless stuff.
So nothing that's gonna hurt anyone or hurt property. We
vandalism.
just move stuff in his yard just to screw with him.
No vandalism.
And we take off running. And then because we would go every Friday night, we would go ding-dong ditching Friday or Saturday night. So we ended up doing this to this guy's house about 9 times maybe. And then this is the 10th or 11th time when I was with Ashton, Philip, and Carter.
Except, us three, besides this guy, we were the noobs of the group. Ashton, Philip, and me, we were the noobs of the group.
Carter's gone a couple times with me. Carter was, the original. Me and him went when we were, in 2nd grade, but, we went, at, noon and stuff. Carter, had done it multiple times with me, but not, a bunch. And then Philip and Ashton had, never done it and stuff. I don't know how you've never ding-dong ditch. And then I've done it all the time. And so we go, and I'm like, guys, Carter, this is that one, canoe that I was telling you about. He's like, are you serious? So we, I start pulling on it. It's nighttime because obviously it's 1 a.m. so we can't really see anything. And I start pulling on it. And Carter's like, it's chained. And I'm like, what?
Okay, so hold on, here, I'll paint the picture a little bit. We're on the side of the house right now. David is towards the back of the house trying to get the back of it. I'm at the front of this house, kind of where the porch is at. And the front door is about 2 or 3 feet in front of me. Right, and so David is just yanking on this thing, and it's chained up, and I'm like, David, freaking stop, you're making so much noise, because it is chained up. And he's tugging on it, I'm like, David, freaking stop, you're making so much noise. And then the door opens up, and then you hear it. The double-barreled shotgun, you hear that. And he says, what the heck are you kids doing? Get off my property.
With a few more curse words in between that.
Yeah, I won't say all.
And he was screaming, and I'm like, guys, follow me, and because I know the neighborhood best, and I'm just like, guys, follow me, so I take off.
We all sprinted.
Carter's fast, I'm fast. Ashton and Philip are not.
Ashton fell.
Ashton fell. And I just ran over him. I'm like, Ashton, come on. So and so they were running with me, and I'm just I'm in the front because I know where I'm going, and I'm Carter was way behind. Carter was 15 feet away from me, so I had a good head start on him. So I was in front. And I was just listening. I was like, my best friend's gonna get shot. Carter's gonna die. I
totally thought I was just gonna get shot in the back. I mean, the guy was right in front of me with a double-barreled shotgun. As soon as he's like, what are you kids doing? I spin it off. I'm like, I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die.
We haven't. We've gone back and we've moved the canoe again before. I did it with Seth. We went back and moved the canoe again. That's who I originally did it with. And so yeah, we went back to Ashton's house, which was maybe like 8 blocks away. So it wasn't like super far, but it like wasn't close by any means. But we sprinted back. But like on the way there, Philip, there's a car, just a normal car drove by, and he's like, "Oh my god, car!" And like we just took off to the other side of the house, and he runs back, like he goes back to hide somewhere. And Philip, who's the least experienced, he's the one that doesn't like me, Carter, and Ashton live in that neighborhood. Philip does not. Philip doesn't know what neighborhood he's in, and he's hiding by himself. And me, Ashton, and Carter back at Ashton's house, and it's like probably 2 a.m. now. We're like, "Where's Philip?" And I'm like, "God, I'll go find him." So I go around the neighborhood. I'm like, "Philip, Philip!" And then cars keep driving by, and I'm like, "Oh."
Yeah, there's this white truck that keeps on zooming all around our neighborhood, and I'm guessing it was the guy with the double-barreled shotgun because he was going around all around the neighborhood really fast.
You can't just be like, "Oh yeah, they're just driving by because it's a neighborhood." No, it's 2:30 a.m. No one just drives by usually in our neighborhood because our neighborhood's pretty calm. We got a few like potheads, but like
a few.
That's it. So I'm trying to find him, and then it turns out he gets back to the house, and then I get back, and he's already there. I'm like, "What the heck, Philip? Why didn't you just stay with us?" He's like, "I got scared." I'm like, "Shut up. Just don't be a little. Just come with us." So we're back at the house, and like we see a cop drive by. We're like, "Oh,"
Dang.
like we're inside the house, and then we're like looking through the windows, just barely, like where only our eyes can see. Everyone else is like laying down in the living room, which is in the front room.
Austin and Philip, they were freaking out the whole time. They're like, "Oh my gosh, guys, the cops are getting pulled. If someone comes to the front door, I'll tell you the entire story."
I know, they're like, if cops come, I'm gonna have to tell them. I'm like, "Guys, I'll just go to the door and be like, sorry, my mom works nights and I'm the only one here." Like, and it's not my house, but I've a lot of cops. I do it all the time. So I was like, "Don't worry about it, guys." Cops never came to my door. Not my door, Ashton's door. Cops never came there. And so yeah, I mean, the sketchiest part was that truck drive by Ashton's house at least 7 or 8 times, and one time it stopped. So he lives on the road, and then a road coming. This is front of it. I'm the house, and there's a road here, and there's a road coming straight up to it from the neighborhood, and the truck comes up, drives, parks there. The lights are shining onto the house through the windows, and stays there at least 15-20 minutes. And that's when we're like, "What are we gonna do?" Because we're like, that's when I started. I'm like, "Okay, guys, I'm actually kind of getting scared now," because I'm like, I don't know what to do. Because this guy pulled a shotgun on us for screwing with his canoe. I don't know what he'll do once he finds the house. But he never actually came out. He just drove off, and then cops drove by a couple times. But they were just like, "Oh, we couldn't find him in 10 minutes," so they just left. So yeah, that was most of the whole story right there. And it's finally 2 o'clock, so we're going to get some Sonic.
Bye, and outros. Yeah.